Okay, so I'm Rebekah Russell-Bennett. I'm housed, I guess, for want of a better word, in the School of Advertising, Marketing, and Public Relations. And you might think the marketer got to do with behavioural economics. Well, we debate this quite often. According to Uber, we're just applied economics, but I like to think that we actually got into the non-rational aspect of behaviour well before officially behavioural economics did. But we both share a parent discipline in behavioural psychology. And so one of the things at the Best Centre is that we work together and we draw on different disciplines. And so I'm going to show you some of the projects that we've done in this space where we collaborate across the university, but importantly, this gives opportunities to our students. We've given opportunities to undergrad students to work directly on very large, wicked problems and solve real-world problems right from first year, all the way through, if they are going to a research degree, right up to a PhD. So this one is the first project I want to show you. It's Butterfly Project. And so it actually came out of a teaching project that we had. So we worked with Mission Australia and PwC initially, who gave us the topic of. So the students worked on that topic, and then we went, well, maybe we could do something broader than this. We were successful in getting funding from the Queensland government. And so we focused on women who were over the age of 55, who were at that very pointy end. They don't even know that they're at risk of homelessness. Most older women who are homeless don't recognise it as such. So couch surfing or not having a permanent home is a form of homelessness. And so we wanted to work with the prevention stage. There's a lot of agencies that are out there that do crisis, but we wanted to do prevention. And so we had a very extensive team on this. We had a whole bunch of undergrads that worked with us. We worked with people from the School of Design, from Justice, Behavioural Economics, Information Systems and Marketing. So it gave our undergrads a really great experience in working on a real world problem. They got paid, which is pretty good. And what we came up with was an online portal where women either received an in-app alert in a Suncorp banking app if they met any of the behavioural indicators, or we worked with Moreton Bay Council, where if any woman came in and sort of indicated that she was experiencing a change of job, loss of job, relationship or income, and they are known triggers of homelessness, she would be given a code or a card, have a conversation, and then that would direct her to the portal. We were able to work out where women were coming from, which was the source. So they'd land on our portal. Basically, let me just go back. We developed a set of personas. So we used design thinking, and you can see our little butterflies there. It's the Women's Butterfly Project, and we know that they are warm and inviting. It was not about risk. We designed the website using nudges to make it not too complicated, not stressful. And in the end, we know that we have already prevented homelessness for a number of women through some of the evaluation that we've done. So it's been a really fantastic project. The students got a lot out of it, and it's the sort of thing that when our students start in our behavioural economics major next year, that they will be our first choice of people to go to offer these sort of opportunities too. Another project, again, that involved students was with the federal government, and they came to us and said, we want to know what are the behaviours that threaten our biosecurity as a country. So if any of you, who has travelled internationally before? Right, so you know it's pretty strict quarantine rules and everything's got to be declared, and there's a very good reason for that. And so they wanted to know what are the behaviours that people do, both here in Australia and overseas, that might end up being a risk to our country, and what behavioural economics nudges can we use, apply to sort of stop that happening. And so we looked at parcels being ordered through mail order, so seeds, wooden objects, we looked at travellers, and we looked at cargo ships. And so we did an extensive review of what were these behaviours, and then we worked with the government to prioritise those behaviours in terms of risk potential. And then the government has used that to develop campaigns to educate people as to what to do. And it's not just travellers coming in, it's when you go to pack. It's how do you know what to order? And so we know that that's already helped Australia to protect our native environment. And so we had students on that project. And then finally, we worked with the Department of Transport and Main Roads. So they wanted to know how to develop a set of nudges to get people to do what they called a two-seat journey. So doing a train and a bus, or a car and a bus, or something along those lines. Literally, bums in two seats is effectively what they were wanting to do. So we needed to first of all go, well, do people actually want to do that? Is there any value in that behaviour? And if there is value, how might that play out differently? And what kind of nudges can we come up with? So we got a whole bunch of Brisbane residents. We had them for a whole Saturday. We gave them a set of go-karts and we gave them a mission. It was a bit like the Great Race. They went around Brisbane. They took photos, they kept a diary, and they came back and they told us about their experiences. And then we worked with them, teach them how to design nudges that would encourage them to do this journey. And in that process, we developed 4 personas for transport. And so we have our busy bee who just wants to get from A to B. It's all about efficiency. We have our relaxed traveller, the cool cat, just wants to de-stress, enjoy themselves. We had the social traveller who, and she's female there because it was typically the women, they wanted to have a good time along the way, pick up friends. They needed to know when the train was going to arrive so everybody could get together. And then finally, the altruistic traveller who wanted to be mindful of the environment and wanted to help others. We got our Brisbane residents into these 4 groups as we sent them off. And what was really cool is that everyone acted as their persona in the data collection process. So our helpful hound, one of their team didn't have a jacket and it was cold, so they stopped and bought their team member a jacket, so they're very helpful. The social butterfly, they stopped and had coffee because they needed to chat first. So interestingly, the personas played out and actually lived their role. And again, we had students involved in that. In terms of higher degree research, we've got a new training centre funded by the federal government. We've got 19 industry partners, and the idea is that research isn't all that useful unless you can get it into industry. And so for the students participating in this centre, we place them with industry. They'll do internships. We'll have executives coming in and sitting in our offices here. And it's all around the behavioural insights about technology adoption. So we bought our first robot. So our undergrad students will get exposure to that robot. So if anyone's interested in coming up close and personal with one, we do have that opportunity. And so we're going to have our students going out, working with industry, developing nudges and really understanding how behavioural economics plays out in the real world. And I would suspect that with these partners will also enter our classrooms and give real world opportunities to our students. And our first cohort that will graduate will be a very special cohort. So anyone enrolling in the behavioural economics major from next year will be our inaugural graduating class, and we'll have lots of special things in mind for them.